meet in an easy seat. And we'll just spend a few minutes breathing. So let's try to breathe in through our nose and sigh out through our mouths. A few deep rounds of breath that way. Close your eyes. A few rounds at your own pace. If you even want to stick your tongue way out on your side, that's a lion's breath. That really opens up your jaw. Get your face moving, your jaw moving. And let's do a few shoulder rolls back, as big as you'd like for them to be. Really on the backwards roll, try to really roll your shoulders back and down, away from your ears. One more time there, and then let's reverse it, and we'll roll them forward. I just said, I bet that's Eileen. Come on in. We've already
Late Eileen.
It's okay. And now let's take a big inhale up. And an exhale back down. Another big inhale up. And an exhale down. Then we're going to do a shoulder stretch, okay? So I want you to bend your right arm and place it sort of between place your hand between your shoulder blades there. And then reach over with your elbow and just pull your elbow back towards the back of your mat. Okay, stretching out that tricep.
Yeah.
Don't forget to breathe.
Now you can go from New Jersey.
All right, and let's switch arms. So bend your left arm, grab your your left elbow, and just pull it back towards the back of the mat a little bit there. All right, one more breath. And release. And then grasp your hands behind your back and really open up your heart. Try to reach your hands towards the floor if you can. Your chin towards the ceiling. Open up your heart. Big inhale and exhale. One more big inhale. And on an exhale, let's just bow forward. If you can bring your head to the mat, that's great. But reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your palms together. It gives you a bigger stretch.
They used to be so easy.
Take a few breaths here. And rise back up. And if you want to remove your block now, you can, if you have one. I still have mine. So legs out, extended out in front of you. So let's take a big deep breath up. Paschimottanasana. Full forward fold in a seated position. So forward fold all the way forward. Your head is reaching towards your knees. Your chest is reaching towards your thigh. Grab your feet, your ankles if you can. Take a few breaths there. And then on an inhale, rise back up. And we're going to take our right foot. We're going to place it on the outside of our left knee, okay? So, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Takes the flow out of yoga. Okay, so our right foot is crossed over our left. We're going to take our left arm, hook it on the outside of our right knee. And we're going to twist to the right, okay? My right hand is behind my right hip. And breathe. One more breath there. And we'll come back to center, and then let's switch sides, okay? So we're going to bend our right knee and bend our left knee and place it outside our right ankle. We're going to do the other side, okay? Get that. They got that. Okay, all right. Twist to the left. Okay. Oh, and look out over your left shoulder and breathe. And back to center. We'll take one more fold down the middle. Inhale. And exhale out over your feet for just a beat. Exhale, and then on the inhale, rise back up. Okay, and then cross your ankles and roll over onto your hands and knees for tabletop position. All right, so from here, just make sure that your fingers are spread wide, okay? And your knees are right under your hips, hands right under your shoulders, okay? So extend your right foot back, And sort of work into like a runner's stretch on that right calf. My toes are tucked under. Okay, and then I'm going to raise that right foot up even with my hip. Swing it out to the left, and then place it on the floor. I'm going to turn and look at that foot so that I get a big stretch in my right side body. Take a few breaths there. And back to bird dog, and back to tabletop. Then I'm going to stretch my left foot out, curl my toes under, stretch that left leg out, and then lift it up even with my hip. I'm going to swing my leg out to the right, and place the toes on the floor, and I'm going to peek out over my right shoulder. Get a big stretch in my left side. And bring your foot back to neutral and back to tabletop. So now extend your left leg out, your right leg out even with your hip again. Left arm up next to your left ear. So I got my right leg and my left arm. Squeeze your thighs together for balance. Engage your core for balance. Spread your fingers out that are on the floor and breathe. One more breath here. And back down to tabletop. And let's do that on the other side. Extend your left leg out even with your hip. Extend your right arm out even with your ear. So I've got alternating sides working together here. Squeeze your thighs together for balance. Engage your abdominal muscles. Awesome. And back to tabletop. So let's just meet in child's pose for just a second. Catch our breath. Let me just make sure. One more breath. Now curl your toes and meet me in your very first downward facing dog of the day. You can pedal out your dog, walk out your dog, exaggerate your dog if you need to. Really stretch out your hamstrings, your glutes, your arms, your shoulders. All roads lead to down dog. Okay, and on an inhale, lift your right leg high and bring your knee into your nose for cheetah. Then lift your right leg high again and bring your knee into your left tricep for just a beat. Back to three-legged dog. Bring your right knee into your right tricep. Three-legged dog. And this time, step that foot all the way through between your hands for low runner's lunge. Okay, so we've got our left leg extended back, right knee is bent. Plant your left hand and lift your right hand way up to the ceiling. Take a nice twist, look up at your hand if you can. Take a few big deep breaths. And hand back to the floor. Now drop your knee, that back knee to the floor. Uncurl your toes. And you can hang out here and just get a deeper stretch through your hip if you want to. You can also bend your back leg and grab your foot if you can. And feel a nice big stretch through your front thigh. On that one, look out over your right shoulder.
Turn it like that.
And then release.
Yeah, there you go.
Then release.
I can't.
That's okay.
I didn't think I could.
I'm
either.
still getting the stretch.
Now raise your, that's right, now raise your back knee back up to straight. Curl, the toes are curled. We're gonna rise up for crescent lunge. Okay, so I'm in a deep lunge. And sometimes the deeper you go, the easier it is to keep your balance. So you might keep that in mind. Now we're gonna swing our right arm back and we're gonna open our arms to the bent leg side. Take a few breaths here. Other way.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. The hard way, yeah. And then back to crescent lunge. Awesome. And then we're going to bring our hands to prayer. Lean forward just a little bit. We're going to twist Hook our left elbow on our right knee and twist our body so that our chest is open to the right-hand side of our mat in prayer twist. You can open out your arms if you'd like to. And back to prayer. Hands to the mat. Step back in a downward facing dog. Let's take a breath there, and then we'll do that on the other side. Take a breath or two here. Lift your left leg high. Bring your knee into your nose for cheetah. Bring your left leg high and bring it to your right tricep. Bring your left leg high for three-legged dog. Then bring your knee into your left tricep. One more time for three-legged dog. And this time step your foot all the way through for low runner's lunge. You're going to plant the right hand and open the left arm out. Reach for the ceiling, 12 o'clock, and look up at your hand if you can. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Open your heart. One more breath here. And hand back to the mat. Drop your right knee. Uncurl your toes. Bend that knee. And if you can, reach around and grab your foot. And this is a real heart opener too. So try to roll that left shoulder back. Even if you're just going to leave your leg down and reach for the back of the room, that's great too. There are lots of variations on this. Whatever you can get into is just fine. Take another breath. All right, and let go of your foot. Back to low runner's lunge, and we're going to rise up for crescent lunge. So our hips are pointing towards the front of the mat. Everything is pointing towards the front. All of our feet, all two of them, all my feet are doing that. And so I'm going to swing the left arm back, and I'm going to open to the bent leg side, which is the left this time.
The what leg side?
The bent leg.
Bent leg. Oh, I
Yep.
said bad leg.
Okay. And take a few breaths here. And rise back up for crescent lunge. And then hands together at your heart. Lean forward just a little bit and hook your right elbow on your left knee. And really push your hands together. That really opens up your chest. And you can open out your arms if you'd like to. One at 6 o'clock, one at 12 o'clock. Okay. Hands back to prayer. And back to the mat. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet just a little bit, stretch out the back of your legs. And you can step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Okay. And we're going to rise up on a big inhale for tall mountain. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, tall mountain. Hands through prayer center all the way down for a full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full fold. Plant your hands either side of your feet and step back into plank position. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Push up for Bhujangasana. Raise the upper part of your body off the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Lower all the way down. Curl your toes. Meet me in downward facing dog. That was one version of a sun salutation. We're going to do that one more time, okay? So step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Rise up for tall mountain, big inhale. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, tall mountain. This time swan dive on your exhale, all the way over for Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full fold. Plant your hands, step back into plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, head to the floor. Curl your toes. Downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to shift forward into upper plank, which is tall plank. So spread your fingers really round through your shoulders. You're going to push the floor away from you. Your body is one long, even line. Okay? So I'm going to shift my weight onto my right hand, and I'm going to swivel onto the outside of my right foot for side plank. I'm going to reach towards the ceiling. If you want to put kickstand one leg, the bottom leg on the floor, that is totally cool. And breathe. Breathe. Okay. Back to upper plank. And lower all the way down to the floor. And let's take a little rest. Okay, curl your toes. And push back up into upper plank. This time we're going to put our weight in our left hand and swivel onto the outside of our left foot for side plank on the left. And if you feel inclined, you can raise that top leg or kickstand the bottom one. Either way. Or both. I think you can do both if you want. And breathe. And shift back into upper plank. And lower all the way down and take a beat. Take a breath. So while we're in this position, let's bring our arms out to a T shape. Okay? You can leave your forehead on the floor if you want. But let's tap your left hand on the floor so you know which direction you're going. And we're going to bend your right arm. Put your hand under your shoulder and kind of push yourself over onto your left arm so that you stretch through that left shoulder. Roll onto your left hip and push with your right hand so you really get a nice stretch through your left shoulder. Take a breath or two here. Your shoulders don't often get to bend this way because we're usually hunched over doing something else. So to bend them this way is super important. And then roll back to the center. Extend the right arm out. Bend the left leg under your, left hand under your shoulder. And then roll to the right. Okay? Really just sort of flip your body almost completely over to the right. Using your leg as a kickstand and really stretch through that right shoulder. So curl your toes and meet me and press up and meet me in downward facing dog. We're going to lift the right leg high. We're going to step it through between our hands. Hop your back foot up just a tiny bit and angle it at a 45-degree angle to the side of the mat. We're going to rise up into warrior one. Okay, so yeah, your back foot is at an angle. Perfect. Front knee is bent. And just take a minute here to ground yourself. Really reach for the ceiling. Let's stretch our hearts open again one more time. Reach behind you and clasp your hands together. Open your hearts. Look up at the ceiling. Let's bring our arms around in front of us. Take your right hand and loop it under your left arm, like eagle arms, right? We do eagle sometimes. And we're going to bow forward like a humble warrior, but we're using eagle arms this time. So my right shoulder is resting on my right knee. It looks like our meeting is staying on this time. I'm excited. No more interruptions. And breathe. And release your eagle arms. And while you're down there, place your hands either side of your foot. Use your back foot to kind of push off and meet me in standing splits. So I'm standing on my right foot. My left foot is extended either exactly out behind me. Some people can get it up towards the ceiling, which I cannot do. So this is as good as I go. If you want to do a few squats here, you can bend that left leg and kind of curtsy
a few times. That's called a curtsy squat for your standing split. Or you can just stay in standing split. Okay, drop that back foot back down to the floor. Right foot back, and we're back in downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to do that on the left now. Lift your left leg high. Step it forward between your hands. Set your back foot up for warrior one and rise. Hands clasped behind your back. Open up your heart. Look at the ceiling. Hips are pointed towards the front of the mat. And this time when you bring your arms around front, we're going to put our left arm under our right arm. Eagle arms. And bow forward. Resting your left shoulder on your left knee. Humble warrior with eagle arms. Take a breath or two here. All right, and now unwrap your arms and place them either side of that front foot. Press off of your back foot and into standing splits on your left foot. You can hold here, or you can do a few curtsy squats on this side. And that's just bending that right leg and bringing it behind the other as you squat. A couple of times in a row if you'd like. One more time. Standing splits. And then drop that foot back behind you. Step the left foot back. And we're in downward facing dog again. Okay. How about if we meet in child's pose and rest a little bit, okay? So that's toes together, knees apart. Forehead on the floor. Take a little breath here. One more breath. Then let's come up to tabletop from there. We'll give our shoulders a little more love since we've been leaning on them so hard, okay? So we're in tabletop. Let's lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and then on an exhale, thread the needle under that left arm. Okay, and you can push with that left hand that's still on the floor and really get a nice twist in your spine. Breathe. And come back to tabletop. And then let's lift our left arm way up to the ceiling and thread it under the right arm. Left shoulder's on the floor. Really push with that right hand to get a nice twist through your spine. And meet me back in tabletop again. So let's do a little warrior two step here. So we'll meet in downward facing dog one more time. We're going to lift our right leg high for three-legged dog. Step your right foot forward. Swivel your back foot, setting up for warrior two, right? My toes are pointed towards the long side of the mat. Then I'm going to open my arms out for warrior two. Bend it deeply into my front knee. My arms are energetically pointed front and back. I'm going to inhale and reverse the warrior. And I'm going to exhale and do extended side angle. You can rest your right elbow on your right knee and reach for the ceiling, or you can reach for the floor with that right hand and reach for the ceiling with the left. Either way is good. And come back to warrior two. And now straighten out your front knee and reverse triangle. So both legs are straight. And then come back to warrior two arms. My front knee is still straight. Then I'm going to reach forward and pivot my body for a triangle pose. So reaching my right hand down to my ankle and my left hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, and rise back up. And go ahead and pivot the front foot so you're facing the long side of your mat with your whole body. Arms are out to the side. Let's have your toes pointed directly towards the mat. So they're at a 90-degree angle to the other end, okay? And we're gonna, with a flat back, lower halfway down and hold. And you can feel a nice big pull in your hamstrings here. Breathe into that tightness, because I know it is. I know it's tight. Breathe and hold. One more breath. Engage your core. And all the way to the floor from there. The crown of your head should be reaching towards the floor. Grab your feet or your ankles if you want to pull yourself down a little more. And take your left hand and reach for your right ankle, or your right foot, and lift your right arm way up in the air, okay? Full body stretch here. Breathe into those tight hamstrings and the glutes, okay? Because I know you're not super stretched out yet. Breathe. And back to center. And now we're going to take the right hand and reach for the left ankle. Reach for the ceiling with the left arm. Full twist to the left. All right. Hands back to center. So now we're going to bend our left leg and come into a full squat on the left if you can, with your right leg extended out, hands at your chest if you can, or any version of that you can. Some people go here, and that is perfect. You can do that? Yeah, absolutely. Just any variation of getting into a squat on your left side is great. And, you know, just whatever you can do. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good. And hold and breathe. And whatever feels tight, send your breath there. Send your prana there. That's your life force. You can imagine it going there, and it helps. Helps you have strength. Okay, on an inhale, we'll come back to center. Take a little beat, and then we'll bend into the right leg with our left leg extended. And breathe. One more breath. And back to center. And walk your feet in until they're about shoulder width distance apart. And your feet are going to be at an angle, angled away from your body a little bit, 45 degrees. And just see if you can come into a malasana squat, which is just a low squat. Your elbows can kind of help support you, and they can help push your knees away. Eileen, look at you. Awesome. That's great. Okay, that's it. Yeah. And if you
Get
can
out of
open
it, but I'm in it.
we'll help you out.
Getting out is the problem.
Yeah, I know. That's what the floor is for. We're going to push it away in just a second. Okay, one more breath. All right, now hands on floor. And we'll stand up, stretch out the backs of your legs. Just take a forward fold there with your feet separated. Awesome. Okay, and just meet me back at the top of your mat in a full forward fold. So, let me think about which side we were. Okay, so now we're going to step our right foot back. I had to remember what side we did last time. Step our right foot back, setting up that back foot for warrior two. And we're going to open our arms out, so we're open to the right side of the mat now. Warrior two. We're going to inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, Utthita Konasana, extended side angle. You can rest your elbow on your knee, or you can reach for the floor if you want a little bigger stretch. If you want an even bigger stretch, you can bind. You can take a bind all the way around. Take a breath or two there. There's the sun. Look at that, y'all. It's not even cloudy anymore. Back to warrior two. Straighten out your front knee. Let's do reverse triangle this time. Big inhale. Okay. Arms back to a T. Keep your front knee straight. Lean forward just a little bit. And let's take a triangle pose to the left. Alright. And then arms back to warrior two. And we're just going to step to the top of the mat. All right. Let's just take a minute here just to ground ourselves, get our balance, take a breath. Hands can be anywhere they're comfortable. They can be in prayer. They can be down by your sides, which is traditional Tadasana. All things equal, all things balanced. We're going to do a few balance poses now. So let's see, what do we want to do today? We could do dancer, we could do tree, we could do eagle. We just did eagle arms, so let's do eagle. So let's put our weight into our left foot, okay? And I want you to take your right leg and cross it over your left leg, like you're sitting in a chair. And then I want you to take your left arm and wrap it, or your right arm and wrap it into your left arm. So you're all twisted up. You can rest those toes on the floor if you need a kickstand, or you can lift them off and slowly squat your booty while you raise your elbows up. So the idea is that your elbows are even with your shoulders and your booty is low. Find something to look at, it doesn't move. One more breath. And an untwist. Awesome. We'll do that on the other side. So ground your right foot. Okay, start to bend it a little bit and cross your left leg over your right leg. Now I can't do it. And your left arm under your right arm. So I'm going to raise my elbows up to be even with my shoulders, and then I'm going to lower my booty. And I'll pick my toes up off the floor if I can. Get your balance first. And breathe. One more breath. And unravel. Let's do a little dancer pose. This one you might need a wall or a post, because this one is really you're just on one foot and that's just about it. So let's put our weight into our left foot. Okay? And our right leg is going to be the active one, okay? So we're going to bend the right knee and bring our foot up behind us and grab the inside of our arch with our right hand. We're going to extend the left arm out, which is the leg we're standing on. Lean forward, kicking your right foot into your right hand. Breathe. And bend that bottom knee if you want to. It helps you balance. And release. And we'll do the other side. So put your weight into your right foot. Bend your left leg. Grab your arch with your left foot. You swap up, Eileen. There you go. Okay, and extend your right arm out in front of you. Lean forward. Kick your left foot into your left hand. Reach in with your right hand. And lower your foot. See, it's easier for me because when I feel like I'm losing my balance, I can call the pose. So. You never actually see me fall.
Yeah.
I do that. That's funny. And let's do tree pose because that's just a good one to end with because that one is, gives everybody a lot of satisfaction. So, hands together at your heart. Weight into your right foot. Kickstand your left foot onto your ankle. If you want to move it up to your calf, you can. If you want to move it up to your thigh, you can. You can grow your branches if you'd like. If you want to stay in prayer, you can stay in prayer. Breathe. And back to prayer. And back to Tadasana. That's a good one. Everybody likes tree. Okay, so put your weight into your left foot. Kickstand your right foot onto your ankle. And you can stay there if you want to. That's cool. You can grow your branches from there. You could move your foot up to your calf if you want. And you can move it up to your thigh if you want. Grow your branches. And hands back to prayer. And then back to center. Let's take a big inhale up. Oh, and just fold forward into Tadasana. And let's really stretch our legs out. We've been giving them a lot of trouble today. Oh. So if you've got a block handy, does everybody have a block? Let's work on our, before we get down on the floor, let's work on our, we've been working on half moon pose. So let's work on that today and we'll show you how to do it. You have your block. We're going to have it up in our left-hand corner of our mat first. And it's a balance pose, and it's also a heart opener and a hip opener. So if you have your block up on the left-hand corner of your mat, you're going to put your weight into your left foot. And you're going to lift your right foot up like you're doing standing splits like we did just a minute ago. But then you're going to roll your hip back, you're going to roll your shoulder back, and you're going to reach for the ceiling for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. And with the block, it really helps you. And you can even put the block on the tallest setting, okay? So you don't have to go down so far. Any setting that helps you open up your body, open up your heart. No egos in this room today. We all got the love going on. And when you're ready, you can release, and then we'll try it on the other side. So put your block up on the right-hand corner of your mat. Place your hand on it, and you can lift your left leg up like we're going to do standing splits. But then roll your hip open, roll your shoulder back, reach for the ceiling, and lift that top leg as high as you can, and breathe. Really open up your heart. Think of that Care Bear in the old days that used to shoot rainbows through his heart at everybody. That's what we're doing right now. I don't remember his name, but my kids watched that show. And foot back to the mat, hand back to the mat. Uttanasana, big stretch there. See what our time is. Ooh, okay. So let's meet in child's pose and rest for just a second before we do some floor work here. So reach your hands, walk your hands way out in front of you, stretch your shoulders out. Roll your head around on your mat a little bit. Get your bearings. You've done a lot of balance work, a lot of strength work. Just catch your breath. Okay, so untuck your legs and just meet on your belly. Let's all just end up on our bellies. Hands under your shoulders and your forehead on the floor. Let's just move our elbows under our shoulders for Sphinx pose for just a minute, okay? Just get our backs moving in the right direction here because we're going to do a few back bends. So your elbows are right under your shoulders, and this looks like an easy pose. So, just to look at somebody doing it, you're like, oh, no big deal. Try holding it for 10 minutes or something, and it's crazy hard, okay? Because our backs are just not used to having this natural curve in them like they actually have. We hardly ever move them this way. So just roll your shoulders back and down, and just breathe into your back. Breathe into your spine. And just feel this nice alternative to our hunched up way that we sit and walk and read and text and do everything else. So just feel this for just a minute. Okay, forehead back to the mat. Now I'm going to leave my head up so I can talk and they can hear me on the TV. So extend your arms back next to your body, palms down. And on an inhale, we're going to do 3 different inhale lifts, and I'm going to cue you, okay? So on your next inhale, lift your head and your shoulders off the floor. On your next inhale, lift your arms off the floor. And on your next inhale, lift your feet off the floor and see if you can keep your ankles zipped together. Locust pose, Salabhasana. And exhale, lower back to the floor. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift your upper body. Inhale, lift your arms. Inhale, lift your legs, squeeze your glutes, zip your ankles together. Exhale, back to the mat. Now bend your legs and see if you can grab your feet or your ankles. And we'll work into bow pose. So on an inhale, we're going to kick our feet into our hands, roll our shoulders back for bow pose. Don't wrench your neck though, just let it be neutral, okay? Take a few breaths here. And lower all the way down. Take a rest. And when you're ready, you can come onto your back, roll onto your back. Whatever way you want to take to get there is fine. You want the way to take it. We could go through a vinyasa, but we'll just roll over. So we're going to lay on our backs, bend your legs, and place your hands right behind your thighs. Catch your breath for just a second. We're going to move into Navasana, which is boat pose, okay? So we're going to rock back and forth just a couple of times on our backs, just to kind of get our spine loosened up again. And then on the next one, roll all the way up to your tailbone. And balance in boat pose. And you can leave your hands here if you want to. You can extend your hands. Keep your shoulders back though. And some people straighten their legs. I do not. It hurts my back. Look at Eileen being all fancy. Just a little bit. She's
I got big legs.
she's a yoga girl from way back, so she's got this. Boat pose. So let's do some low and high boats. Okay, let's inhale and do low boat. Exhale, high boat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. Hey. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. And squeeze your knees in and just rock and roll on your back a little bit there. Stay on your back and grab the outsides of your feet for happy baby. And this one you want your back flat on the ground and your knees coming in towards your armpits. It's happy baby. And you can roll side to side on your sacrum. That might feel good. Extend one of your legs straight, if you can, for a beat or two. And then bring it back in and extend the other one straight, if you can. And squeeze both of your knees into your chest. Okay, extend both of your legs out. And now just squeeze your right knee into your chest. Take a big breath. Extend it back out. Now squeeze your left knee into your chest. And extend that leg. So we're going to do pigeon, half pigeon on our backs this morning instead of on our facing the mat. So bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. Place your right ankle on your left knee. Kind of thread your arms through your legs and grab your shin, your left shin. So you're like in a figure four, okay? And pull that left leg towards your body. So it's just like we're doing half pigeon on the floor, but we're doing it on our backs. It's way easier on your knees and your joints to do it this way. And more people can get into this pose this way than they can on the floor. So, and really pull. You feel that big stretch through your right hip and your right hamstring. If you feel like it's hard on your knee, flex your foot. Take some of the pressure off. place your feet back on the floor, and we'll do that on the other side. Let's place your left foot on your right knee. Grab your right shin and pull the whole shebango up towards your chest. Flex your foot if you need to. One more breath. And feet back on the floor. And we'll move into supported bridge, so grab your block and place it under your sacrum. You can bend your knees and push up and place it right under your sacrum. And you can use any setting on the block that you want. You don't have to keep it flat. If you want more of a stretch, then place your block on its side or even long ways, okay? So we can feel another nice back bend here. And our sacrum tends to not get a lot of love, so this is good for it for sure. From here, if you want to move into waterfall, you can send your feet up to the ceiling, flex your feet. This is actually an inversion pose, so this is really good for your blood flow and your thyroid.
In your brain.
It is good for your brain, it sure is.
I got my master's at 60. I wouldn't have had a brain without yoga.
I know, I believe you. I believe you. Okay, bring your feet back down to the floor and take your block away. We're just going to do a few supine twists before we move into Shavasana, okay? So squeeze your right knee into your chest, extend your left knee, and just flop your right body over your left body. Extend your right arm out and look out over your fingertips. So my body's twisted to the left, but my head is twisted to the right. And breathe. And come back to center. Extend the right foot and squeeze the left knee into your chest. And flop your left body over your right body. Extend your left arm out and glance out over your left fingertips. And back to center. One big squeeze. Your knees into your chest. Okay, and just extend your legs out long on your mat. Kind of separate your feet out towards the corners of your mat, your arms away from your body, palms up for corpse pose. And we'll move into Shavasana for just a few minutes. Y'all get comfortable, and I'll turn the music up a little bit. Just chill out, enjoy the peace and quiet. Start to take a few deep breaths. Just meet me in a seat if and when you're ready. So we're going to do our yoga mudra to seal in all our good stuff today. So we'll bring our hands around behind our backs. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Tuck your chin and we'll bow forward. And we'll just appreciate this time we had together. We're going to seal in all this good energy we created, all this fellowship that we had. And just carry this good feeling with us through our day. And meet me back. Center. And we're gonna do a chant today, call and response. Eileen knows this one.
Oh, okay.
So I'll chant and y'all respond, okay? And Eileen knows this one. And this is a chant that we do in yoga class a lot, at least where I take yoga. And it's a Sanskrit chant, and it means may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And so it's just a loving kindness meditation chant. So we're going to chant, I'll chant and y'all respond, okay? So we'll start off. And then at the end we'll say Om together, okay? Loka,
Loka,
light in each and every one of you. Namaste.
Promise.
Namaste.